So, Rasika Mataji, right? So he's saying,
in materialistic world, we get greedy about things. Like how much ever we get, we want more, we want more.
yes,
We have the urge for getting more. But in spiritual learning, we are satisfied with what we have, and that makes us be happy always.
very good, very good. So, and any graphical example that you remember from the last time?
Yes, there was a graphical example of a monkey.
Okay.
And if they are giving bun to a monkey,
Yes.
one first they gave, then other and other, it keeps wanting more and more. It is never satisfied with what it has.
Yes.
So same way, we are different from animals. In many other ways, we are different. We have intellectual. We are intellectually different. We have to learn how to be happy with what we have and be in a good path.
Very good. Thank you very much. So she said that usually all of us have some desires, and the desires we want to really fulfill them. But as we go ahead to fulfill them, right, and we find that while fulfilling that desire, sometimes it's not attainable, right? We get dejected because there are limited resources, and then even if it gets attained, we realize that somehow we are not able to release it, right? Because our senses are limited. And third thing is that even if we really try to release it as much as possible, we are not able to sustain it for a longer period of time. And we quoted that verse 5.22 from Bhagavad Gita. Yehi sangspasaja bhoga dukkhayenaya evate adiyantavanta kaunteya nate suramate buddha. The intelligent person knows that the desires of this material world, right, they have three properties. What is that? It is a beginning, it is an end. Whatever it is, right? You want to pursue a big car, or you want to pursue for a big job, or you want a beautiful or handsome spouse, whatever it is, whatever you want to get it, it has a beginning and it has an end. And second thing is that it always pleasure comes with one, buy one, get one free. You want to buy happiness, what comes with it? Is a pain. Pain. You got a new car, you always, that pain of EMI, or the pain you go in the right road and somebody will kind of put a scratch onto this new car. Right? Whatever you have, whatever you get it, always there is some pain. Right? And then third thing is that it is limited period of time. Nobody can say that I will hold on to it, for eternity. Can anybody say that? No. And yes, everybody is really looking for the happiness, by fulfilling these desires. But that happiness, we cannot get it through this material desires, for the fulfillment of the material desires. So we discussed last time that, yes, happiness is there, but we have to find it at the right place. We talked about that person who had lost his ring, and he was finding it some other place. Or that another example we talked about, must deer, right? Must deer. He was finding everywhere except himself. Right? Most of the times, that's what we are running after here and there in so many ways. But we are not able to find that, yes, we can really attain that happiness, right? By connecting within. Right? But we don't know that. Somehow or other, we are in ignorance. We don't have that knowledge. Most of the times, what do we have? Right? We want to see, oh, can you show me the God? Or somebody says, if somebody is in the darkness, they ask, oh, can you show me the sun? Right? And at the same time, they really keep a, 10 rupees coin very close to their eyes. Right? They put it very close to the eyes and says, can you show me the sun? Can you show me the sun? Is it possible? No, you have to take out that coin. What do you think? No, this coin is so valuable. This material thing that we have, it's so close to my heart. How can I remove it? We have so much of attachment for our desires, right? But what our Acharya is saying that, like, yes, we have to open our eyes. We have to dovetail our desires. That's what we discussed. Like the fish cannot be happy, whatever you want to give. Big gulab jamun, iPhone 15, right? Or a big luxurious, car, and whatever you want to give it. Can fish be happy without water? No. We need to really understand that our real happiness is our spiritual need, apart from the physical need and the emotional needs or intellectual need. So yes, like whatever these Maslow's hierarchy people talk about now, it's nothing but like it is the eternal concept of Bhagavad Gita. Right? Yes, you talk about the physical needs, and then you talk about the emotional need, intellectual need, and the pinnacle of happiness is really our spiritual need, or what they call self-actualization. But they don't know what is that and how to get that. And then we moved ahead that how Bhagavad Gita gives that map, right, to show us where are we and where we have to go, right? Just like in a GPS, you put it in a Google map, and it shows you where you are at this point of time and where you have to go, and it shows the path. Right? That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Yes, this material world is a place of misery. It's a dukkhalayam asaswatam. But yes, there is a spiritual world. Na tadbhasayate surya, na sasankta, na pavaka, yad gatva nani vartante tadhama paramam. Yes, that's the beautiful spiritual world. Right? And let's plan for it to go there. No, let's not try to invest all our money in a stock which is going to get bankrupt. Right? Let's invest our money somewhere we get multi-bagger returns. Right? That's what we talked about. And then, right, somebody might say that, oh, is it that like now you are just also giving a post-dated check that we'll get it in the next lifetime only? No. Right? By following this process of devotion, not only will be happy in the our future life, right, where we'll go back to Godhead, but in this life itself, we'll get that pure happiness. Because all our desires are aligned.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So we're talking about how Bhagavad Gita gives us that map. It's also it's a manual for us. Like we talked about, you want to buy something, right? You have a manual. That's what we discussed last time as well. A user knows more, or a manufacturer knows more. Who knows more? Manufacturer. And the manufacturer of this entire this cosmic manifestation, the Supreme Lord. He gives us right how to lead this life. And then we talked about that. Yes, not only we have to have the manual, but we have to connect with the Supreme Lord to get that happiness. Yes, there are different processes to connect the Lord at different points of time. But in this case, the most important process to connect with the Lord is the chanting of the holy name. By loudly and heartily chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Okay. So now as we move forward to today's session, I hear that most of the people, they ask, like once you say that, okay, why don't you study Bhagavad Gita? Why don't you take to spirituality? What is the problem in studying Bhagavad Gita? What do you think one of the most common, I would say, excuse they give is that Oh, I don't know Sanskrit because we have been brought up in, English language or other language, and nowadays we don't know the Sanskrit through which this Bhagavad Gita is spoken. Right now, I'm not intelligent enough to understand the details through which Lord wants to speak. Do you feel that? Most of the times, feel that like that. Oh, I don't know Sanskrit. How do I really learn Bhagavad Gita? Before I proceed, I'll tell you a beautiful story. And usually we say that we tell stories to our kids so that they can sleep nicely. But we tell story to elders so that they can wake up. Our Acharya is saying that Jeev Jago, please wake up. And this story is not really something from very past. We are talking about this story that happened just around 60 years back. Our founder Acharya, His Divine Bliss, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he was in a place called Boston in US. In 65, he traveled from India, leaving everything. He went to US in a cargo boat, right, cargo ship, and then he landed. And then he somehow or other, with the help of some hippies, he started this international movement. And we'll talk about one hippie, right? And Boston, Srila Prabhupada had come. And as soon as he came, there was one really hippie with the disabled hair, very uncultured looks, right? He entered another hall. And as soon as he entered, he went directly to Srila Prabhupada and tried to touch his feet. And all the disciples, they forbade him, no, please, move away. Because usually the acharyas, they are very merciful, but at the same time, right? Like, how do we really, the disciples thought that how do we maintain the sanity, right? And but still, Srila Prabhupada, with his compassionate nature, right, he tapped, this hippie's head and said, "It's okay, it's all right, my boy, it's all right." But this, hippie, who was so uncultured, so disabled, so dirty looking, was not leaving the feet of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, "It's all right, my boy, it's all right." And finally, after a couple of minutes, this boy, left Prabhupada's photo suite, and Prabhupada proceeded ahead. And all these devotees who are there in that small temple, they realize that no, he has received now the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, he's a special soul. So though he's having so much of bad smell coming because of taking drugs and so on, but still, they took him to the restroom and bathed him and saved him nicely, right? And they brought him to the temple room, and he heard, Srila Prabhupada's classes and started honoring prasada. And it happened like that for a couple of days. Though all the devotees, they were really getting bewildered what to do with this person, because he was not like a gentleman, as I said. Anywhere he would sleep, anywhere, he would just open his arms and legs and he sit in a very careless way. And the devotees, got really bewildered what to do. But then they also remembered that this person has received the mercy of our Acharya. And one devotee, after Prabhupada left from Boston to New York, he sent a letter to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, you remember this person has come. He had come while you were here, but it's very difficult to tolerate him. And Prabhupada wrote him back, please tolerate. It will be all right. And just over a period of time, right? The same devotee who had sent a letter to Srila Prabhupada, he saw that one decade later, he was reading a book written by one of our Goswamis. Right? The Goswamis, you were here, they were in Vrindavan, they were the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They really established all the temples, all the scriptures uh, maybe around 500 years back, right? So they were all in Sanskrit or some are in Bengali and some local languages. And this text, right, was really translated from the Sanskrit and from this locally Bengali language, to English. And we found that there was this devotee's name who was translated as Kusha Gurta Das. Right? And this devotee who had complained, right, he tried to find out who is this devotee who has written this. And it's none other than the devotee for whom they had complained to Srila Prabhupada. Right? How that the most unfortunate, illiterate, uncivilized person became the top class Vaishnava to understand the highest literatures written by the Goswamis. Like if you go to, let's say, Banaras Hindi University, BHU, right? There is a department, to understand the scriptures written by Jiva Goswami, one of the Goswami. And these are the literatures he had translated, right, in the English language. So what is exactly the, we understand the mercy is all about. Yes, we might not have the qualification, but we have the right devotion, the right love, to follow the instruction of spiritual master and to follow the principles, a person can be transformed. Is it clear? Right? Yes. We hear about Dasyu Ratnakar also. How many of you have heard Balmiki Dasyu Ratnakar? That he had come from a very, uncivilized background. He was not able to chant also the Lord's name Ram, right? By the instruction of his guru. He started chanting Ram, 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 Ram. Right? Yes, it's not required that we need to be the sophisticated Sanskrit scholars to read the Bhagavad Gita. What we really need is our love and devotion and sincerity. And once you have that strong desire, right? Yes, we can do it. We can read it, and we can not only read it but apply it into our life, and also we can share also with others. It's true for us as well. That is not that from childhood we knew Sanskrit or we knew all the different complicated languages or the grammars, because the Sanskrit grammars to master itself it takes 12 years. Right? It's not easy, right? And for us, to read the Bhagavad Gita, to apply the principles of Bhagavad Gita, it's not that we have to be master in the beginning. Yes, if you have the knowledge, it's helpful, but it's not a mandatory. It's not a mandatory. So please, don't have that inhibition that, because I don't know this, I'll not able to read it. What is really required is your sincerity, your love and devotion. And that's what, Lord also says, in Bhagavad Gita, and this beautiful verse, right? Please repeat after me. Sa evayam maya tetya yoga prakta puratana bhaktosi me satha cheti rahasyam hi etat uttamam. So Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna that, oh Arjuna, this ancient science, this is science, right? This is not any speculation by somebody, right? Science means you apply it and you will get the result. Yes, you get some result once you follow this experiment. And that's why Krishna is saying, try it out, right? And this is science. And this science has been told by me already to Surya and all different paramparas, right? But now I'm telling it to you, right? Because you are my devotee and you are my friend. So to understand Bhagavad Gita, what is the qualification? You need to be a devotee, right? Unless we have the devotional mood, we cannot understand the rahasya. Lord is saying it is a rahasya. It is so confidential. Right? Somebody might be thinking that, oh, this book is open, this book is available everywhere. We see the devotees, they are distributing Bhagavad Gita everywhere. How it is rahasyam? Yes, we might read it, right? But we will not be able to understand the essence, what Lord is trying to say, right? We might read the letters, but we don't understand the spirit of the law, spirit of those letters. What exactly Lord wants to say us? Are we clear so far? That how to approach Bhagavad Gita? That yes, one more example our Srila Prabhupada gives, that you might have some disease, right? And then, right, can you go directly to a medicine store and you say that, oh, I like this pink color syrup. Can I say that? Is it possible? No, you have to approach a doctor, a bona fide specialized doctor, right, who handles that kind of a disease, right? So it is important for all of us hmm, uh, to approach the person who has that interest, who has specialized it, right, in this process of devotional service, and really understand from him or her the spiritual science. So that's what is really required. So in this Bhagavad Gita, so there are 700 verses are there. Hare Krishna. How many verses are there? 700 verses are there. How many chapters are there? 18 chapters. Because one time, one person was saying that, oh, I have read Bhagavad Gita, and because most of the times once you go and distribute Bhagavad Gita, they said, no, we have it. And then jokingly we said, can you tell me what is there in the 19th chapter? Right? Because most of the times we give the Bhagavad Gita as it is, right? But we don't read it, right? So it's Bhagavad Gita. So yes, definitely they are good. At the same time, we gave the last time one example. Anybody remembers? The scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and makeup. Yes, thank you very much. The makeup, right? They look good when you apply it. Right? If you just keep the book as it is, you don't get so much of benefit out of it. Okay. And here there are basically 5 topics are covered. And these 5 topics are called Ishvara, Jiva, Kala, Karma, and Prakriti. Ishvara, it talks about the Supreme Lord, who is the Supreme Controller, who is the Supreme Proprietor, what exactly his attributes are. Then he talks about Jiva, like all the living entities. He talks about Mama, Vamsa, Jiva, Loke, Jiva, Bhuta, Sanatan. How all these living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And then how everybody here in this material world, they are kind of focused with a particular period of time. Nothing is eternal here. Right? And whatever we do here, there is a reaction to it. Right? Very simple. Yes, karma has a various meanings. One meaning is that, okay, is a reaction, another is an activity, and we all get entangled in this cycle of birth and death throughout the karmas. And whatever we do, this gets facilitated through Prakriti, through the material nature. So as we go ahead in this course, we'll be discussing each of the topics in very much in detail. So now let's jump into the context of Bhagavad Gita. How I think thanks to B.R. Chopra ji, right? And especially at our age, we have a good understanding, at least some understanding of the Mahabharata. Right? That really brings that experience, right? How every day, every Sunday at 9 o'clock or so, right? Like we glued into watching this Mahabharata serial through the Doordarshan. Right? And yes, the context is that how there are 2 brothers, or I would say 3 brothers, Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura. And Dhritarashtra, he was blind, and that's why he could not take care of the kingdom. And then Vidura, because he was son of a maid servant, he didn't come forward, right? And then Pandu, though he had so much of affinity to go to the forest to learn from the sages, he took these responsibilities. But somehow or other, right, because of some unfortunate incident, he left his body quite early. And at that point of time, he left all his sons in care of Queen Kunti and also Dhritarashtra. And we know that how Duryodhan, he was trying with so many means, I would say crooked means, some evil means, right, to kill all the Pandavas so that he can usurp the entire kingdom. Right? Either what are the incidents you remember? How he first wanted to poison his bitter enemy. Was that Bhima? And then Visara, Lakshagraha, right? Yes, how he, hatched a conspiracy to kill all the Pandavas in that Lakshagraha, and how they had that Asat Sabha, in that Kuru Sabha, they wanted to defile this chastity of Draupadi, and how he had sent, the Durbasa Muni, right? Right, so that once Durbasa Muni get angry, and all the Pandavas will get destroyed, and finally, right? When they really came back, right, after that Asat Sabha episode, where 12 years of forest and 1 year of Ajnatvas, right, they were supposed to, return, right, their kingdom, right? But then what happened at that point of time, right? Duryodhan said, no, I cannot give anything. And do you know that Lord Krishna tried to go there as a peace messenger? And what was the reason? Lord passed or failed? Failed. Is it possible? Lord tried his best, right, to explain, right, Duryodhan, Dhritarashtra, what is dharma, what is adharma. And he said that, okay, these are the Kshatriyas, right? They need a kingdom to really rule, right? Oh, at least you give them 5 villages. And then the Duryodhana said, I will not give even the tip of a needle. Right? Was so arrogant. Right? And at that point of time, it's not that sometimes people say that, oh, why Krishna was advocating violence. Right? And Krishna tried all the means. Yes, unnecessary violence is really prohibited, forbidden. But then, right, if there is a disease, right, in a leg, right, it cannot be cured with some antibiotic, with some medicine. The final option is amputate, right? Or in a field, right, you have a seeds that grows very nicely, but along with the seeds, sometimes there are weeds, right? And we have to take out the weeds at the right point of time. If you don't take out the weeds, it will annihilate, it will destroy one of the main grains, the seeds. So here now we come to this first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where the context is that Dhritarashtra is sitting along with his assistant Sanjay, and he's asking Sanjay that now my sons and sons of Pandu, they have assembled together in this Kurukshetra, right? What are they doing? And then Sanjay talks about that how Duryodhana approached the master like Dronacharya, and then he kind of did a assessment, right? Uh, that okay, this is the strength of the Pandavas. These are the kind of warriors. They are there with Pandavas. And by the way, this is also are the warriors that who are there with us, right? And then we did a comparison, right? In a corporate world, we do a SWOT analysis, right? Strength, weakness, opportunity, threats, like in the management world, right? So Duryodhana also did all that, right? And then, of course, Sanjay also talked about that what are the different signs, right, which really bringing that Pandavas are going to win, right? And at the same time, in this chapter, Lord is entering, right? And then we'll see that how Lord enters. And the final section of this first chapter is all about, Arjuna comes up with the various reasons why he should not fight. Okay, so let's go to the first verse. Please repeat after me. And this is the verses of Bhagavad Gita, right? This is the topmost scriptures, the topmost manual. We should recite again and again. We should remember these verses, right? If you don't have Bhagavad Gita, please try to get a Bhagavad Gita. It's always good to have a reference, because yes, we might think that we can really refer our soft copy in our internet, everything is there, but it's good to have the hard copy. That's what we suggest. Please repeat. Dhritarashtra Vacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetayotsavaha Mamaka Pandavascheva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Once again. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetayotsavaha Mamaka Pandavascheva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. So it said that Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dhritarashtra said, Dharmakshetre. This war is happening at which place? Kurukshetra. But this Kurukshetra is not an ordinary place. In that place, so many sages had performed so many fire sacrifices. And that is Dharmakshetra. Samaveta, come together. Yuyutsavaha, to fight. Who have come together to fight? Mamaka, sons of mine, and Pandavas, the sons of Pandu. Right? Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. What did they do? Right? So sometimes we find that it's very illogical. Right? What the Dhritarashtra is asking. He's saying that all of them, they have come together desiring to fight. What did they do? Like, sometimes we might say that, like this friend and this friend, they have gone to this restaurant, right, to have a nice dinner. But what did they do? They will eat their nicely. They will have a good time, right? So they have to come together to fight. Means they will fight, right? Why? Dhritarashtra asked them this question. Sorry. He's anxious, okay? He wanted to know, okay?
Because you don't know what is going on. That's why you wanted.
What is going on? Yes. Okay, he still doesn't feel that his sons are wrong. Okay. Any other points?
No, what next?
What next? Yes. Now you see, right? Like the World Cup final match is about to start. Right? And you are not there. And you have received this commentary, right? And you are really looking forward to it. That what is going to happen? Who is going to win the toss? And then who is really going to ball it? But then we hear that this match is happening in the home ground. Right? Home ground means right here. Because he still knew that whatever he did was adharma. Right? What Duryodhan was doing throughout his life was adharma. But this fight is happening in a dharma kshetra. Right? And Pandavas are dharma personified. Right? So now this match is happening at their home ground. What's going to happen now? And the second thought, right? He's saying that Mamaka Pandava. All the sons, right? Either the sons of Dhritarashtra or the sons of Pandu. Like in a way, they are part of the same family, same dynasty. Right? Why Dhritarashtra is having that differentiated mentality? Right? This Bhagavad Gita starts with that thought process. Right? That mindset of me and you. Right? But you see the other exemplary character of Queen Kunti. Kunti is a wife of Pandu. Right? When Madri left, at that any point of time, right, there was one instance, right, where he had to sacrifice one son. She said that, no, I have three sons who are Yudhishthir, Bhima, and Arjun, and Madri's sons were Nakul and Sahadev. You're thinking that, no, I have three sons, and Madri had left two sons, and so I should ensure that if one son goes away, that I'm okay. But at no point of time she thought that I should really lose Nakul and Sahadev. She was really extra cautious, to take care of the children of Madri. Right? But here we see that how, right? Dhritarashtra, instead of really protecting the Pandus, he was the part of the evil, episodes to really, attack, destroy, the Pandavas, right? And that's where, most of the times we become anxiety or we have that stress because of that you and mine, that envious mentality, right? Hmm? And yes, and that's the constant war that we have, right? So some people ask, how this Bhagavad Gita is relevant to me, right? Because the fight that was happening in Dhritarashtra's head, that kind of fight is always within our heart also, right? And last time also we talked about there's a tug of war happening between the good and evil at every point of time in our heart. We say that, right? Our life, is like a segment of PD. What is it? Line segment, right? In your maths class, you might have read it, or for your children, you might be reading. Like most of the times, we read twice or thrice, right? First for ourselves, then for our children. Right? So, okay. So our life is a segment of B and D, right? What is a B and D? It's yes, birth and death. It's a fixed. You cannot change the lifespan of the segment of yours. But what you can really change is
The family.
yes, right. We have so many points in between in that line, and that each of the point is really the C, the choice that we have, right? And what kind of a choice, right? Whether that choice point that we really use it to really feed the good or feed the evil, right? Like they say, we have two dogs, one good dog, one bad dog, and they are always fighting. Poo, 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 poo. Oh! Which generally wins? Which dog generally wins?
Evil.
Because we are feeding the evil, right? Because the good dog, we are not feeding that dog. That's why it's very quick. So it's really up to us to which dog we are feeding the most, right? So don't blame the destiny because Dhritarashtra was saying, no, ye mere bhagya mein likha hua tha. No, destiny is a choice of the decisions. Destiny is not the decision. Are you aligned? What is it? Can you repeat? And destiny is not a decision. At each point of time, Lord gives us the choice points to all of us. You see that how Lord Krishna, he himself had come to give an opportunity to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana that abhi to sudhar jao. But they said, no, we want to follow this. We want to follow for ourselves. Yes, Lord will give, right? Through the scriptures, through his representatives, or in our corporate material life also, right? We have so many well-wishers who tell us, but most of the times we keep ourselves blinded that we don't understand, right? Others' views, others' perspectives. It's all me and mine. So my way or highway. Yes. Right? So now let's proceed further. So as we do whatever we do, what do you think are the critical factors of success? What do you think? Perseverance, dedication, persistence, vision, discipline. What else? Hard work. Yes. Dedication.
Right way of doing it.
Consistency.
Right way of doing it.
Right way
Of doing it.
Right way of doing it. What else? Yes. No. So in corporate world also we hear that, right? What are the kind of key factors for success? You get the right people in the bus, right? They say, right? You identify the right people. They say that, you offer them also the right incentives. You create a performance structure, right? So that at the end of the year, you have an appraisal and you reward the well-performed employees and you really give the right message to people who are not performing, right? And then you talk about in a corporate world also, we do, right? The competitive analysis, right? The market analysis we do, right? How the other brand is doing, what exactly we are doing, right? How we should really, understand their strength, what is our weakness and how, but at the same time, what is our opportunities, what are our threats, right? Right? And then, yes, we estimate Huh? What exactly at the end of it? What is a pain? What is a gain? What exactly the monetary benefit that we get it? Right? And we have really not only have a grand plan, but we have a solid plan of action. Right? And also ensure that you carry everyone along with them, right? Like you rally the team behind your goal, right? Do you agree with all these points?
Yes, sir.
For your information, Duryodhan had all of them. Do you believe so?
Yes.
Huh? Huh? Okay, now I'll give you a couple of examples. So, as Sanjay was asked by Dhritarashtra, right? Then heard from Sanjaya, that how Duryodhan he proceeded ahead, and he approached his Acharya, his spiritual master, Dronacharya. He says, oh Acharya, oh my teacher, Pasyaitam Panduputranam, please see, the Panduputras of the Pandavas, right? And how beautifully they have been arranged. Vyudham Drupada Putrena, Tavasisena Dhimata. Dhimata means intelligence, right? You see the intelligence, of the son of Drupad. Why he said son of Drupad? He could have said, who was the commander in chief of Pandavas? Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna was the, you can say, brother-in-law of Yudhishthira, like our brother of Draupadi, right? Who's the son of Drupad. Like long back, right? Like this Dronacharya and Drupad, they were part of the same Gurukul. They were part of the same Gurukul. And as they grew up, Drupad, he went to become the king because he was a Kshatriya. And Dronacharya, because he was a Brahmana, he was a teacher. But somehow, the influence of time, Dronacharya was very poor, that he was not able to feed his children as well. And his wife said, okay, you have a nice friend, Drupad, why don't you go and approach him? Right? Maybe he can help you. And Dronacharya, he went to Drupad. Right? Oh, my dear friend, do you remember the good old days? We used to have fun together in our Gurukul. We used to learn and we used to go here and there. And Drupada said, yes, I remember. So what? And then Dronacharya said, by the way, I'm kind of having some difficulty. Would it be possible for me to help you? How dare you come and ask for something from me? Right? He really chastised him. And Dronacharya, he was really devastated. And then he came back. And then somehow or other, he became the teacher of all the 105 sons of this Kuru dynasty. And he grew up all the sons with to be expert, warriors. And then he sent his, foremost student. Who was that? Arjun, to go and defeat Drupad. Right? And Arjuna badly defeated Drupad. And Drupad, he had to play his next, trick. What he did, he kind of organized a big sacrifice, and through which he can really get a very powerful warrior, so that he can defeat and who? Dronacharya. And that is the son of Drupad, who is a Drishtadyumna, right? And here, like you see how at that time, how they were used to maintain the ethics also. Even Dronacharya knew that he's a son of Drupad, but as a teacher, my job is to really take care of the, teaching, right, whoever comes, right? And when Drishtadyumna came to learn from Dronacharya, he also accepted him, right? So Drishtadyumna learned from who? Dronacharya. And now he is really kind of teasing. Duryodhana is teasing, Dronacharya. You see how he didn't say how fool you are, right? But that's a way of saying it, You see the intelligence of your disciple, your student, Drishtadyumna, how beautifully he has arranged it. If you would have not taught, then you would have given a good chance of retaliation to Drupad. But now you see how you have fed, in one way, he was thinking that fed the snake, right? He was trying to, right, encourage and incite the anger of Dronacharya, right? And then he's saying, then he gave so many other slokas that how on the other side of the army, the Pandavas, so many powerful warriors were there. right? Like Bhima, Arjuna, right? And Satyaki, and so many big warriors that he kind of talked about. So, and then not only he talked about the strength of the Pandavas, then he talked about, like in this verse 4, 5, 6, he talked about the strength of the Pandavas, and then he started talking about, by the way, we are also no less, on our side as well. We have very powerful warriors, right? In 7 and 8, verse 7, 8, 9, these 3 verses, he talks about, who are with us, who are also willing to sacrifice their life for us. In a one way, somehow, Devi Saraswati also came into, right, his tongue. He already kind of predicting that all these are there in my side to die for me. Right? And then in the verse 10 and 11, he did a comparison, right? Who are there? What is the strength of Pandavas and what is our strength? And here he is saying that aparyaptam tat asmakam balam bhisma viraksitam, right? Like our strength is aparyaptam, is unlimited because of Bhisma. But you see, their strength is limited because only Bhima is there, right? That's what he was telling to, right? All the other warriors, right? Why? He wanted to ensure that in one way, he kind of was that, I glorified in one way to Dronacharya and also to Bhisma, what others would be thinking, right? And the other way of also saying this verse is that, because somehow or other I have always felt that Bhisma is having a soft corner to the Pandavas. So that's why it is insufficient, right? But for Pandavas, it is Paryap. Paryap means sufficient, bahut, right? So for them, their strength is sufficient because it's a Bhima. Especially he had always feared about the capability of Bhima. Because he had so much of strength that if there would be 10,000 elephants would be there, and if you would punch the first one, the 10,000 elephants would really fall down. Right? Can you imagine what would have happened to the first and second or third or 10? That was the strength of him, right? At the same time, right? Like he wanted to also give some hope, right, to others as well. That yes, we have also Bhisma, we have so many Maharathis, on the Duryodhan side, they had 11 Akshari Sena, and Pandavas had only 7. And then the kind of warriors they had, like Dronacharya, Krupacharya, Karna, right? And he also talked about one, right, called Vikarna. Vikarna was a very ordinary, one of the 99 brothers of Duryodhan. But why he kind of put Vikarna also, right? Because Vikarna was the only brother during that Asat Sabha, Guru Sabha, he had spoke against him, right, in favor of the Pandavas. Now he wanted to encourage when the Vikarna that yes, buddy, you are there, you are one of a strong soldier, strong warrior, don't worry, right? And he was trying to encourage him as well. And he was trying to rally everybody together that yes, by the way, like yes, you have so much of strength, but at the same time, Bhisma is really getting older. So we have to also protect our Bhisma. Right. So as we said, right, he kind of put in all together, right? Even you cannot believe how he was getting the right persons also. When Salya was coming, right, to fight the war, there was this beautiful arrangement done by Duryodhan. Though Salya was, you can say, father-in-law of the Pandavas, but somehow he was thinking that, definitely, my son-in-law only would have done it. But then he didn't know that it was a plan of Duryodhan, right? And somehow, right, Salya was so happy. He said that, okay, whoever has really posted my soldiers, I'll fight with them. And because Duryodhan knew that, Karna is a strong fighter, but he needs a Sarthi also. Just like Arjuna has a Sarthi of Krishna, I should also have, Karna also should have a warrior, like charioteer. And that's what, he had really arranged something that he should have the right person in the bus. Yeah, getting my point? Right? And then he talked about so many, but he didn't tell about one person. Right? And we'll see what. Right? So even after doing so much management, right? The perfectionist, what he did? Duryodhan failed. So what is the actual cause of success? What is the actual cause of success?
Dharma.
Dharma. Yes? Anything else? Sorry? Surrender to the Lord. Okay. let me tell you a story before going there. So I think most of you have heard this story. How many of you have heard this story? Yes, some of you still don't know. For the benefit of viewers, I'll tell you, right, how before the war started, right, this Duryodhan and Arjuna, they went to Krishna because they knew that, yes, Krishna has a powerful Sena called Narayani Sena, right? And whoever, like, would take support of Krishna and his army, definitely will be the winner. And both of them went together, and Duryodhan was sitting next to the face of Krishna, and Arjuna was sitting next to the lotus feet of Krishna. And as soon as Krishna woke up and he saw with his beautiful eyes, first who he saw? Arjuna. And he asked Arjuna, Arjuna, tell me, what is the reason of you have come? Right? Then Arjuna, like said, he just looked into, his brother Duryodhan. And then Krishna said, oh, you're also here. How come? What is the news? Like, why you have come here? I said, no, I have come, for seeking your help. But then Krishna said, by the way, first I saw Arjuna, right? And he's also younger to you. He has the right to ask first. And then kind of, Arjuna, what is the request he had for Krishna? Right? Before that, of course, Krishna said, yes, I want to give justice to both of you. I have two choices. One is that I'll be with one party without any weapons. I'll not fight, right? But another side, I will have all my Narayani Sena with that party. So what do you choose? So what is the choice of Arjuna? Krishna. Now, Duryodhan was thinking, what is a foolish idea? Right? Krishna is not fighting, right? And and each of the members of this Narayani Sena, they are as powerful as Krishna, as powerful as Krishna. But then he chose Krishna, and then Krishna also got bewildered. Oh Arjun, abhi to haar nischit hai teri. What he said? Haar nischit hai teri Arjun. सदा रहे तू उदास देखो दुर्योधन माखन ले गया और तू रहेगा सदा उदास right? And at the same time Arjuna said, oh Krishna, तेरा भक्त कभी ना होता उदास है ना निश्चित है मेरी जीत निश्चित है मेरी तेरा भक्त कभी ना उदास माखन लेकर क्या करूं ऐसे माखन चोर है मेरे पास What he said? माखन लेकर क्या करो? माखन चोर है मेरे पास. Right? Yes, most of the times we run after the energy of the Lord, but we don't value the the source of that energy. Right? That is the difference. Right? Here Krishna wants to show. Like as we were discussing that how Duryodhan was talking about so many things, so many warriors, but he didn't tell Krishna's name. That Krishna is there on the other side. Because we're thinking what Krishna can do. Right? That's why sometimes we think that, oh, right, what is the benefit of having a devotee of the Lord? Right? Because you see the life of the Pandavas and Kauravas. You see, Dhritarashtra, he was all around his life, he was getting curses. He didn't get any blessings. In the last moment, he was trying to get the blessings of Gandhari, and somehow he got tricked. Right? He could not get the complete blessings. You know that? Like, he could not protect himself completely. But you see the life of the Pandavas. Their whole life was to seek the blessings of the elders and the superiors. Right? See, it's up to us what kind of a choice fund that we have in our life. Right? We want to get the curse of everybody, or we want to seek the blessings of everybody. Yes. Right? These are very subtle things. But they are really powerful. They are really powerful. Right? Are we clear? That what we learn, the critical factors of success is really with Krishna, we flourish. Without Krishna, we perish. Can you repeat this? With Krishna, we flourish. Without Krishna, we perish. One time Srila Prabhupada was just going in a park. And he saw there's a lawn. And he showed his disciples, you see this dry well grass. why it is so, pale and yellow looking, and the white other grass is so greenish. Why? What is the difference? What is the difference? The dry grass is somehow or other dislocated from the ground, and the other green grass is connected to the ground. Right? So that's what the very beautiful verse there is in Bhagavatam. It says, Yatha tarar moola nischanena trupyanti tatskanda bhujopasaka prana praharach yathendriyana sarvarana achyuteja. So the meaning of this verse is that how, right, once you water the root of the tree, the whole tree, the branches, the fruits and leaves, everything gets flourished. Right? If you feed the mouth or the stomach, all the limbs get enlivened. Right? And once you take care of the worship of Lord Krishna, everything is satisfied. Or in a corporate lingo, right? You might have the best of the resources in a project. Right? Best timeline, best project manager, best funding, right? But if this project is not aligned to your, corporate strategy, right? If it is not aligned to the CEO's, 5-year plan, will this project be successful? Will it be successful? Because you might have everything. You might have the kind of best of the project. It fails. Why? Because it's not aligned to our bigger goal, bigger strategy. Right? So in our life also, we should look into that. Right? What exactly are we doing? Is it really aligning to my purpose, my long-term plan, my long-term goal? Yes or no? Are you clear? So far the learnings? Okay. So now let's proceed further. Right? From the next verse onwards, and here Sanjaya, talks about how there are so many, signs through which it is very clearly visible that the Pandavas are going to win. Because first of all, we hear that this is happening in a holy place, Dharma Kshetra. And the second is that, yes, because Lord Madhava is there, who is the husband of the goddess of fortune, right? And like that's what it is. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yasyam Pakshe Janardana. Right? Yes, there are bound to be the victory because Lord Janardhan is there. Right? And then, right, not only the Lord is there, but his dear devotee, Hanumanji also is there. Do you know Hanumanji also was there in Kurukshetra in the battlefield? Where? Yes, on the plan of Arjuna's chariot. Right? Yes. Of course, we'll not go to that past time, how Hanuman came and, how he got introduced to his, lost brother, Bhim, right? And then how he wanted to help Arjun by giving that huge, war cry, like he was there on top of this Arjuna's chariot, right? So yes, right. And then not only all these devotees, but also there are so many devatas, as we talked about that how Pandavas received so many blessings. Agni gave the chariot, that Indra gave the quiver with powerful arrows to Arjuna, right? And so many other devatas, they had given so many, powerful weapons, to the Pandavas, right? And of course, which is really evident, right? We chanted this verse also last time. Yatra Yageshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurthara. So wherever there is a Lord Krishna and there is Arjuna, there are bound to be victories. Sometimes people say that, oh, all right, while you distribute Bhagavad Gita, no, I don't want to take Bhagavad Gita. Why? No, if you take Bhagavad Gita, and there will be quarrel, like just like we had in Mahabharata, right? Oh, by the way, you don't fight at home right now, right? But but what is Lord's message here? Wherever Krishna and where is the Arjuna and where is the Bhagavad Gita, what is there? Lord is giving, or I would say, here Sanjay is saying, there are 4 things that are bound to come. What are the 4 things? Tatra, Sri, Vijaya, Bhutir, Nitir, Matir, Mama. There is a bound to be victory. There is a bound to be the opulence, extraordinary power and morality. There's no doubt of it. So that's why it said, Krishna Bhakt Sada Bindas. Okay, so now you understand, right? Like how what exactly the critical factors for success, right? Yes, it's not that we have to ignore. It's not that Arjuna didn't try, right, for all the other ingredients. Yes, but on top of it, we needs to ensure that the key one, the most important one, Lord Krishna is there with you. Yes, it's not that we have to ignore some wounds, but the most important thing is that we have to understand what is the root cause of that wound, right? Why there is infection, right? If you just put some band-aid with some nice, perfect band-aid, with some nice balm, it's not going to cure it, right? It's going to come back again, right? So that's our acharyas are saying. So yes, yes, we might have the lot of complicated, skills, advanced skills. You focus on so much of valuables nowadays, with latest gadgets, latest cars, and so many things, right? Yes, success at any cost, right? But most important thing, apart from the skill, is to have the will. Apart from the valuables, how we should focus on the values. And the success is not all in all, but we should focus on the happiness. And yes, it's not about, you are tested during the time of adversity, but also in that adversity, how do you really find the opportunities, right? That is the kind of a path to success. And what we can really learn, from this, whatever the science of the victory of the Pandavas or whatever we have learned from the past chapter so far, how can we really apply it into our own life? This is the lessons that we can carry home, right? That how this battle was really happening in a holy place. So it's important for us also that where there is a constant fight, either at our workplace or at home, right? Most of the times in the charities to start from home, right? Right. So how we can make our home as a holy place, right? How can I make it holy? That's most of the times, we hear that cleanliness next to godliness. How you really maintain, right? Cleanliness and sanity, right? That we create a environment, right? Where, right? There is a purity, there is a cleanliness, right? How we call our bhavan, our house as a bhavan. We know that we call our house as a bhavan, one. But if you take the bha out, what remains? One. So what does it mean? If you take the Bhagavan out, it becomes one. Right? And if one, who stays? Animals. And what the animals do?
Kill each other.
Right? Yes. They fight each other for eating, sleeping, waiting differently. Right? Right? If you don't, people say that why we have so much of quarrel at home, why there is so much of always conflict of opinion, right? Why there is so much of struggle at home within our relationship? Because we are missing the center. We are missing the essence. So once you keep the Lord in the center, so that's why they said, between the couple, there should be a divine couple. What is it? Between the couple, there should be a divine couple. Yes, that's why every house, we used to have a temple, not in one corner of the closet, right? Because we are afraid, we want to show them that we are worshiping this Lord. We want to put them in one corner. No, Krishna, I want to show them, no, Krishna is our proprietor of this house. And we are the trustees of this house. All right. And then we want to say that, yes, we are just a trustee. We are here to serve the Lord. And everything that we do, right, not as a proprietor mentality, but to serve the Lord. Right? Like, Srila Prabhupada gives an example. In a pond, if you put so many stones at different places, all the waves, all the ripples, they kind of fight each other. It creates chaos. But if we put one stone at one place only, it creates so beautiful waves. Isn't it? So what is Lord is trying to tell us that, yes, once we keep the Lord's desire in the center, right, then everything else, will be perfect. But if if you take out the Lord from our house, it becomes desert, it's a forest, right? But that's how we can keep the Lord in the center of our house. And then, yes, it is important also. Jaisa sang, Vaisa run, right? Like it's like I think in IIM or somewhere they did some research, right? You are known by your 5 friends, 5 worst of your friends, right? So you are what you are associating with. Right? If you have some kind of that's why I say parents, they are very particular about what their children associating with, isn't it? Right? Because yes, because we know that, like, whether they are in the right association or the wrong association. So it's very important for all of us as well to find the right, friends, not to just say hi, hello, but to really through which, we can share, our good days and bad days. How we can really cultivate a relationship. Nowadays, hardly anybody having any friends. Friends is not only about just, doing a party, right? Do you have friends, right? Who is there with you, right? Who can really give his or her shoulder to cry? Because most of the times we have to do that, or sometimes we have to do that, right? Do we have anybody with us? We have to really find out, right? Because most of the times, what all the people, they are so wealthy, so wealthy that don't have anybody, right, who can really help them. They're so rich that they have only money, nothing else. But money cannot give us that happiness. Really, they're the friends who can really come and tell us, who can guide us, who can, because most of the times we are in confusion, they can give that third perspective, kind of another perspective, what is really good for us. So it's an opulence to have right association who comes out without any agenda, right? We have to find out those right friends, because most of the times, because we want to scratch their back and they will scratch our back. No, we have to find some devotees, some friends who are really selfless, who are not asking for anything from you, who are there to just help you. Are there anybody? Yes. Once we are sincere, we can find them. Right? Sometimes we say that, oh, there are nobody. First, can we be ourselves be a good friend to somebody? Right? Because most of the time say, oh, I don't find any friends. Right? Can it, at least me? Can it start with me? Can I be a good friend? Right? Without any selfish motives. Somebody can rely on me. Right? And then, yes, once we start with myself, then we can really create a community where all the people have the same thought process. Is it possible? Yes, this is what we want to do. This is thought process I want to really bring in everybody's mind, that yes, it is possible to create, that Ram Rajya, right? But the Ram Rajya is possible once you have Lord Ram in the center, right? Once you have Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, once you have, right, the Lord, we understand, we recognize there is Supreme Father. But we cannot do it, right? Just by saying goody words, right? It has to start from us. And the third point is that, yes, we already talked about that, how we should really bring the Lord into our own life. So don't just run after, right, the Lakshmi or the energies of the Lord. That's what Ravan was doing. Right? He was just looking after the energies. Or like nowadays, most of the people, they just worship Lakshmi only. Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi seems answer. What is it? A wife stay alone without her husband? Is it possible? Is it possible? No. That's why you bring Lord Narayana and Lakshmi will follow automatically. Because it is Lakshmi Pati. Right? You should be intelligent. Right? So don't worship Mother Lakshmi alone. Right? Worship Lakshmi Narayana, worship Radha Krishna. Right? Worship Lord Ranganath and Mother Thaya. And in different places we have different deities. But the focus is, you have somebody to whom you are accountable to. You have somebody to whom you are taking the shelter. Is it clear? Right? So don't have that mentality of Duryodhan or Ravan, right? Who is always going for the energies of the Lord, but focus on the source of that energy, that energy. Right? Don't focus on the Sakti, but focus on the Shaktiman. Okay. So yes, and how do you create that beautiful environment? What exactly they had created with that powerful sounds of concerts, we can create at our home by chanting. Like you, especially in this before the war started, during Bhisma, we started blowing concerts, and the Pandavas started blowing concerts. But it is mentioned that when the Kauravas started blowing their concerts, it didn't happen anything. It didn't create a big impact. But when the Pandavas started blowing their concerts, the Kauravas' hearts, they got shattered. because it's so powerful. It's called Dibyo Sankho. Right? And so, yes, we can also create a positive, strong sound vibration at our home by regularly chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So now let's proceed further. So one more question that we ask everybody, that why not you study Bhagavad Gita? This is the most common excuse that we get it. What is it? Yes, bang. Right? No time. This is the most frequent common disease that everybody is having. No time. Can you believe? Right? Going back to that cricket example, the World Cup final is about to start, right? And the toss has already, kind of tossed, right? And the betting side has to come now, right, to start betting. At that point of time, you're the most prominent player. I don't know, it's a let's say Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, kind of, taking the coach aside. Now I want to find out, right, who has come on the other side, and there is a discussion happening. You think, has everybody gone mad? What? Right? Oh, we might think like that, right? But what exactly, right? That's what we see in this verse. Arjuna is saying that, oh Krishna, can you take me this chariot? After all the concerts are blown, is saying that can you take me to this middle of this battlefield? I want to see who are there on the other side and who are in our side, and I want to see them. Who are they? Right? Does it really make sense? Huh? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Yes or no? Or yes or yes? Okay, so let's see. If you are going for a food in the refrigerator. Nowadays everything, fresh food only, finished food. So you have a chilled pizza, and then your mother wants to offer to now eat it. Why? Because I don't have. What do you say? Right? Or you have heard that, right? Like that axe person, right? Who was really cutting the woods, right? He would continue to cut the woods, but then he forgot to sharpen the axe. Is it okay? Can he say that I don't have? Can he say that? So yes, everybody having the same time, right? But still, you see that some are successful in really getting their time out. So if you don't have time, you have to make time. You have to do the management of your time properly so that you prioritize what is really important for you, right? And as you said, don't kind of put your, all your energy, right, in that shop where it is going to be bankrupt, right? Like, there was an experiment somewhere in one management school, right? There was one jar, and a professor had put big boulders and stones and grains and water, right? If you just put water first and the grains and the sand and finally the rock, would it be possible to fit everything? No. What do you have to do first? You have to put the first. You have to have the bigger things, right? That's why we understand that yes, in our life, is it okay? We say that no, Bhagavad Gita is only for the end of the life. जब बूढ़े हो जाएंगे तब पढ़ेंगे, right? जब once you bought a new gadget, they asked, why in your movement you have so many young students, Prabhupada said, why there are in the university a lot of young students are there? Because we call the centers more as an educational institute. Here we are here to teach them the essence of life. Right? This is about this Bhagavad Gita. Right? Through which you can make your life successful. It's not for the end of the life. If you have a beautiful rose, you want to give it to your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend. You want to give that rose only once it's a completely dry, or you want to give a fresh rose. You want to love God. That is the essence of our life. Right? And you want to say, no, once we don't have any energy, right? At that point, oh, what exactly energy you have to offer it to the Lord? What is the use of that? Yes, it has some benefit, but the maximum benefit that you get it by starting early. Are you aligned so far? Yes. Just now proceed faster. Now this next section, right? How the hero of this Bhagavad Gita enters the battlefield. Right? Especially, you might have seen some, especially South Indian movies, right? Specifically, when the hero enters, you'll see the dust. You will see only. Then you will see, right? Maybe his shoes, and then he's maybe some weapon or something like that. The way he will come, right? So matcha style, right? But how in Bhagavad Gita the supreme, the topmost hero enters? Any guess? Huh? Chariot driver? Can anybody think that? The topmost person, like Mr. Modi, is a software? Is it driving for somebody? Is it possible? Right? Why is he doing it? Why he's doing it?
I will give a support.
Yes, the quality of it. Even in corporate world, I recently read this book called Good to Great by Jim Collins, right? And he talks about the different levels of leaders. And in the level 5 leaders, he says one of the main component of the level 5 leader is what? Personal humility. It's not that who is really arrogant, right? Who is kind of thinking that once again, my way or highway. No. He kind of understands the needs, expectation, concerns of others in the team. And he said, okay, if this is what required for my devotee to flourish, I don't mind to be a chariot driver. And do you know what was going on in that war? Right? How Arjuna was communicating to Krishna, not through, oh Krishna, now not go left or right. At that point of time, if Krishna has to drive towards the right, he was really pushing with his knee or leg to Krishna, that Krishna, now this is the direction to go, right? Can you believe that? Nowadays people are like, especially the managers of the, the leaders of the company, there's so much of ego. How can you say this to me? How dare you can do to me? But you see how leader, right? The topmost leader, the Lord Krishna, the supreme proprietor, Akhila Brahmanda Nayaka. He's just a kind of a driver. You see how Lord wants to show, to that he can do anything, for his devotee. And that's what we see, with our founder Acharya Prabhupada also. And why he started this movement, what he was doing, right? And he was really inviting everybody. He was giving the class, and at the end of, and he was preparing a nice feast for them. And at the end of the program, everybody would go, and then he would take care of washing the utensils. He would do everything single-handedly. Right? That's what we say. There are some leaders or there's some people, like you can really relate to our today's politician, right? They don't do anything, but they are there to take the credit. Right? That's why you see, they don't do anything, but if there is some publicity is there, they will put their name first. Right? But there are some people who like they do the work and at the same time, they want glory also. Right? Equal. There are some people, they don't want any glories. They just want to do back end. Especially in our Janmashtami, if you see how some devotees, they work so hard, but they will be always in the background. You will not see them that who is really doing the seva. Right? They will be the last person to go, right? And they will be the kind of the first person to come to take care of everything. Right? One time, like there was one big program was happening, one devotee was really remaining at the end to take care of all these kind of utensils, how it has to be really wrapped up and really go to the different place. And in the morning, they are the first persons once again to take care of everything because you want to ensure that everything is perfect. Right? They don't want any credit for themselves. Right? And the fourth kind of a person, they do all the work and then they glorify others. That is also the mood of Srila Prabhupada. And if you say that, I really thank you very much for doing so much work, right? You are really, preaching so much. You are really inviting so many people. And my spiritual master has said to all of you, you are so worshipable to me. That is the mood of Acharya. That he doesn't take any credit. Like if you go to any other sangstha, they put themselves in the center. But in our ISKCON, everyone talks about a movement, the Hare Krishna movement. Nobody says it's the Prabhupada's movement. Right? They can't even keep themselves at the end. Right? Why? Because they know that we are just insignificant. Right? We are just insignificant. It's all Lord's plan that all of us we have come together and we are given opportunity to serve the Lord. That is so beautiful quality of a leader. Right? And then as we proceed further, right, and towards the last section, right, Arjuna talks about the different reasons. We'll discuss in detail about the reasons and also what Lord says, how Lord refutes, these reasons for Arjuna's not to fight. He talks about, Arjuna said that, my relatives will be killed, and it is so painful to miss my relatives. And how will I enjoy if all my relatives will go? You want to enjoy with someone, right? Can you enjoy all alone? No, it's not possible, right? I lose any kind of even if I win, what is the benefit of it? And then if we now kill with so many people like our acharyas, our grandfather, and so many people will incur so many sinful activities. And once all the elder members will be destroyed, now our family traditions will go away. What to do all that, right? So we'll hear that answers from second chapter onwards. So, okay, any questions or comments? We have whatever we discussed so far. Any questions, comments? Okay. So this is what we discussed. That we discussed so many principles. Maybe maybe it's a time for us to really reflect. I would request all of you to kind of. I'll send you a message, and everybody's there in our WhatsApp group, Gita course WhatsApp group, right? Okay. So I'm sending a message to all of you. You maybe can just spend a couple of minutes. Okay. If you're not there in that group, you can join it right away. And now I am sending it to you. This what's this form? You just please share your learnings. I'll just give you a couple of minutes. Or you can scan it as well. Either way, either you can scan it and you will get a Google Form link and you can answer the quiz, or you can click the link also that we get sent it. Because whatever we have learned, we need to also test it, whether it's all clear or something has gone. Great. I would request and I would urge all of you to please participate in this quiz. This is really helpful for all of you to reflect and to understand what we have learned today. What are key learnings? Because as I said, most important thing is to really go through, to remember the points, but also to apply it into our life as well. Just spend couple of minutes. It will not take more than 3 minutes. I would request all of you. Please, we use our mobile for so many things. Now let's use this device, for something positive. You're not getting it? So what you can do, you can go to Google Lens. You go to the Google Lens, and in the Google Lens, you can really scan it, and then you will get that link. Use the Google Lens. Google Lens is the best thing. Use the Google Lens to scan it, and then you will get that link, and you can click that link. Okay, spend just a couple of minutes. Okay, so Vivek Pro is. Prabhu, can you find out Vivek Pro? Get it. Use the Google Lens. We have already received 8 and responses so far. Who is Prasant Kumar? Prasant Kumar? Prasant Kumar R at gmail.com. Okay, so he's a perfect scorer so far. 8 out of 8. Okay, who are the others? Okay, so now I see there is one more perfect scorer. Acha, Manoj Pratim. Haribol. Thank you very much, Rohit. Yes. And then we have Varsneya. Varsneya. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. He's also a perfect scholar. These are the devotees who have really heard attentively. Okay. Yes. Gayatri. Who is the Gayatri? Gayatri. Thank you very much. Yes. These are the devotees who have scored. Okay. Yep. The author request. Okay, so we have Prasant Kumar, Manoj, Vasneya, Gayatri. We have only 4 so far. We are the perfect scorers. So, Vivek, okay. Okay, Hare Krishna. So I think we are running out of time now. Let's proceed further. So you can also answer it later on. So first of all, I would like to invite our Prasant, Kumar, Manoj, Vasneya, and Gayatri to come and receive some gifts from us because you have been so attentive in your hearing. So we'd really like to reciprocate with your sincerity. Please come forward. Very beautiful book called Introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Yes, it's called Matchless Gift. Introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so let's give them a big hand. And we have also some devotees from the last time who could not collect. Do we have bouquets? Oh, he got the perfect score last time. So we have some gift for him as well. Let's give a big hand. And we'll have a Ravipati, you are okay. Ravipati Sailaja. Okay, thank you. Let's give her a big hand. And then we have Ratna. Ratna. Is it okay? Ans Kumar. Ans Kumar. Oh, why? Let's give it. Okay. And we have Anand. Anand Naik. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We really appreciate. So in this Krishna consciousness, of course, Lord is saying that Nahai vikarma nasosti pratyavaya na vidyate salpa masya dharmasya trayate mahatavaya. So it's just an act of appreciating, like who have done done perfectly, but it's not that wherever you have learned also one point, Lord registers that, like Lord recognizes that it will come you at the right point of time. So now let's proceed further to our next stage where we'll talk about to chant the holy names of the Lord. So let's spend some time by connecting to the Lord, by detaching ourselves from all other desires and only connecting to the Lord by hearing. And our prayer should be in the prayerful mood. Yes, we heard today how sound vibration is so powerful, right? Let that sound vibration go within our heart, deep into our heart. Okay? Okay, so please repeat after me. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Let's start. Okay, so how to chant? Yeah, so as we chant this Panchatattva mantra, they are called the father of Sankirtana. Right, so we take their center and then we start chanting the mantra. So we really go one by one. So at every beat, right, we chant this complete Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then we pull towards us. First we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. And then we pull towards us. Once again, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. This is how we'll be chanting 108 times. Okay, this is how this is called one round of Mahamantra. It takes around 8 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes for all of us. Okay, let's start. Yes, we should not use this finger because it's usually always used to point fingers to everybody. It's not considered auspicious. So without using this one, yes. No? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Sivasri Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yes, I would request all of you that this process of chanting, this process of connecting with the God should not happen only in this Gita course, right? I would request all of you to experiment it, to try it out every day. Every day in the morning. So do you really say that I don't have time? No, we have to make time. We have to get some time out, especially preferably early in the morning for studying this Bhagavad Gita and chanting this Maha Mantra. This is the how we can really connect with the Lord. And just before we wrap up, so next week, next weekend, we'll be focusing a very interesting topic from the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So why do I suffer? We'll do a kind of a root cause analysis, and also we'll try to find out also what Lord is trying to say. Is there any God? Who are we? And so many other topics that we'll be discussing. And so it is important for all of us to understand that we'll be kind of issuing a certificate based on the attendance and also your participation in the quiz. So please ensure that you said your attendance, right? Like you must have received this QR code, and please do update it. So that will be really used for your getting the certificates and also your participation in this quiz that we are sending it for all of you. So now I would request, do we have anything, Marjit? Just wait.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Kids can come forward to say this.
Hare Krishna.
Souls just transfer when they are dead to another body and they are never ending.
Story as well, and it will be nice drawing as well. So it's a big hand to all the children. Hare Krishna. So let's now kind of spend some time in really observing ourselves and singing and dancing for the pleasure of the Lord. Let's do some nice kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yeah.